All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, sisters, you too. This is Pastor Dow. Remember, I told you I was going to try my best to keep us abreast of some of the things that's going on because I know a lot of us have very, very busy lives and we don't have time to keep up with all the rhetoric, all the lies, and just simply all the deceptions that is being put out today. But however, there are a few truthful sources out there that try to let us know exactly what's going on. So let me try to contribute and do my part. It's obvious that not a one of us, according to the survey that I did a few weeks ago, that not a one of us trust in our government. I cannot find one person in this country, even when I go out and I speak to people, and I just ask a general question: do you trust your government in this country? I cannot get one. So we know that the system is a farce. We know that that the elected, or let's say the selected officials, do not function in the best interest of the people. They function in the best interest of the corporations. We live in an plutocracy, an oligarchy, a monarchy. And just like I said before, the Bible says rich and poor, free and bond. And these people look at us as peasants and they are noblemen. And that's just the way it is. And of course, again, if you don't understand history and you don't know what these people think and what they're doing, then you deserve exactly what you get. Now, I got a report right here. It's something called a TPP. And of course, it's supposed to be an Obama secret treaty. That's what it says, an Obama secret treaty. And of course, this Obama secret treaty is, and let me go ahead and read the article rather than trying to define it. We'll just go ahead and read it. It says, at the top of this particular article right here, unlimited migration from Mexico, gun import bans, ammunition bans. All right, and so it goes on right here. The Obama administration is fervently working with foreign lawmakers. Now, we have to ask ourselves a question. What the hell kind of jurisdiction does any foreign government or any foreign lawmakers have anything to do with us over here? I mean, after all, whenever we try to so-called, quote-unquote, sit down at the table and agree with the United Nations or the European nations, think about that. Listen to what I'm just saying, because I'm using words that if you don't understand what I'm saying, you're going to be caught up in the quagmire of deception. But these European nations right here, remember what the book says. All right, just remember what the book says. But anyway, he's in cahoots with some foreign lawmakers and officials on the new Trans-Pacific Partnership trade agreement. Yet what may seem like business as usual is anything but. The president has made it a point to keep any and all details of the agreement completely secret, so much so that what amounts to a gag order has been placed on anyone who has anything to do with the bill. Even members of Congress are unable to discuss the contents of the bill with each other or in public, and anyone who is invited to discuss or to discussions over the bill must leave cell phones and staff members behind. That's because they don't want anybody taking any notes or anything. Again, it's obvious that we have been taken over, that we do not have a company or a government it is a company, but we do not have a government, and let me speak terms that you're able to understand, that represents the people, that's of the people, for the people, and by the people. Because there's no way that informed people have put these people in position. These people represent the best interests of the corporations and not the people, and you and I are not it. All right? So we don't have any what you call legal representation. All we get is a bunch of taxes and get out there and work your butt off even more so, while every time you turn around, there's always a threat of guns. Now, before I go any further in this article right here, first of all, number one, when you look at Baltimore and you see what type of force it takes for the government to amass to try to control just a little small population of people, they know that it's grim, it's dismal. There's no way they have enough National Guard. They do not have enough military. They do not have enough law enforcement officials. They do not have enough Secret Service, FBI. They don't have enough of anybody to be able to control the population at all, period. They have to amass hundreds, thousands of people armed and ready, suited and booted into one central location, because if the whole entire population of the United States of America decided to erupt and just literally go damn crazy. I mean, just the other day I looked over in Wisconsin, somebody got shot and killed. And the first thing they did was they put out half black, half whatever the other person was, ethnicity. And that's the first thing he stated out of his head after they acquitted this police and said there was no charges going to be filed against him. And I've never in all my life seen somebody read something sweating so many bullets. You could literally see the sweat dripping off of his face. And I'm sure that he was in a controlled environment, meaning air-conditioned room. But the one thing that they did not want to take place is riots to start taking place up in Wisconsin as they have in Ferguson and as they have in Baltimore. And the people are tired. They're simply tired. Now, I don't agree with all this damn Fox News, these damn punk-ass people like Bill O'Reilly and all that, and these faggots like Wolf Blitzer and all these old other folks. I don't agree one bit with none of them. I just don't. I don't agree with any of them. Because they're just, all that they are is they are there to deceive the population of people. That's all that they are. That's what they're there for. They are there to keep you in the dark. Because if there was a natural disaster, if there was a catastrophe, if there was something coming our way, your government is not going to inform you, American people. They're going to let it get as bad as they can. They're going to protect themselves from it, and they're going to leave you and I to fend for ourselves, and there's going to be a bloodletting. Seriously, that's all it's going to be. It's just a simple bloodletting. And that's just the way it is. And you need to wake up and understand this. You cannot trust anybody that's in a uniform, period. You cannot, you'll be a fool to trust anyone in a uniform. And if you do, go ahead, have fun. But you are a fool if you trust anyone wearing any type of uniform that's representing any type of government. I don't care if it's local, state, or federal. It makes no sense whatsoever at all. You do not trust them. And nor do you get up and start singing like a canary in front of them because they ask you a bunch of questions. You listen, you are the terrorists. Just like I said before, you are the terrorists. Let me get to this article right here. Where we at right here? All right. Since not even Republicans have yet to spill the beans about the details of the agreement, one can only assume that those attending the meetings are doing so under the threat of criminal prosecution or worse if they talk. This, of course, begs the question. What is so important to the Obama administration that has been kept a secret from the American public until after the agreement has been passed? I'm telling you, like I said, y'all get ready for a revolution in this country. Just get your minds ready right now. Just get your minds ready. Because these people that are up there passing all these bills and signing all these things, they're not going to be in a fight. They're going to be in their sealed homes, protected. And they're going to leave us peasants out here and then you dumb, stupid people out there who work for the government to fight against each other. That's just the way it's going to be because that's the way it always been. You have the poor dying for the rich until somebody in the poor side of the world, they understand and gets exactly what's going on. I was surprised the other day to see that even a couple of billionaires has woken up and they were on Alex Jones to see it clearly exactly what's going on today. It's just utterly amazing what's happening. What could possibly be so critical to national security that the purported mostly transparent presidential administration, first of all, this presidential administration is not transparent at all. They're liars. In history, let me read this again so we get some understanding. What could possibly be so critical to national security that the purported most transparent, that's a quote unquote, presidential administration in history says no one can talk about it? Could it be that whatever is being negotiated is so significant that if the American people got wind of what was taking place, there would be a collective outcry or a widespread protest on the streets? Yeah, people starting to protest because they're getting this thing. You know, they really could have made some movements. The American people could have if they would really kept up Occupy Wall Street all over the place. I mean, really, but. You know, it's just one of those things. That protest a few days, go back home. Tell you what, they're getting attention in Baltimore. You know, the sad thing about it was that over in Baltimore is that these people, they were protesting peacefully, and they wasn't being heard. It was being ignored. And yet they get them, these pundits get in front of these cameras and tell you, well, you protest peacefully and everything, and then we'll hear. No, they didn't hear a damn thing. But then when they start tearing up the whole countryside, start tearing up the whole city, and start tearing up all the environment and everything else, then their voice was heard. So civil disobedience is the only thing that's going to work. You have to understand, power only understands power. Because when these people have power today, they are corrupt, and they are corrupted absolutely. Do you understand? And so you have to speak truth to power. Not only that, power only understands power. So when you start getting that attention by protesting civil disobedience, and that's your constitutional right. If you got to tap the whole damn country, the whole damn, tear down all the buildings in the city, then do it. If you can get your voice heard, because they're not going to hear you when you go out there holding up peace signs and holding up signs that's got voices on. And well, you know, things that you personally, you done something because I hate the government. You got a little sign up here like this. They ain't going to accomplish anything. And getting together individuals and holding hands and locking arms, hollering, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. No, I'm adding strength to the people who don't understand exactly what's going on today. It's sad. According to Gun Owners of America, this is exactly what's happening. And it is nothing short of shocking. Gun import bans, micro-stepping of firearms, ammunition bans, full of implementation, and of the anti-gun UN arms treaty agreement, illegal amnesty, look at this, which locks in millions of new anti-gun voters. This anti-gun wish list could be a part of the secret trade agreement that the President Obama is getting ready to spring on the Congress. The trade pack is called the Fast Track. And what it means is that Obama can write any form of gun control he chooses into trade agreement, import bans, and amnesty, and etc. And this agreement doesn't need 2/3 of the vote in Senate as a treaty would. When completed, the agreement is merely subject to the majority vote of both houses, and it can't be filibustered. It can't be amended. And the GOP can't refuse to consider it. Wow. Top secret TPP means you won't know what's in the bill. Reports have already surfaced that the top secret draft contains a whole chapter of European Union style provisions allowing unlimited migration from Mexico to the United States. This will fulfill Obama's dream, which he begun the executive amnesty to import millions of new anti-gun liberal voters into the country. Of course, we can't quote for you any of the legal or any other language in the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement because the document is top secret. Obama won't reveal it, even to the most congressmen, until Congress has given its, whatever that word is, by allowing it to pass under the fast-track procedures. Wow. If you want to hear the details of the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal the Obama administration is hoping to pass, you got to be a member of Congress and you've got to go to classified briefings and leave your staff and cell phones at the door. If you're a congressional member who wants to read the text, you got to go into a room in the basement of the Capitol Visitor Center and be handed it one section at a time, watched over as you read, and forced to hand over any notes you make before leaving. So just send somebody in there that's got a photogenic memory. No matter what, you can't discuss the details you read. Truly. Man. Truly, even more with the Obamacare, this is the case if you have to pass it to find out what's in it. What? Sources, Gun Owners of America via Infowars.com. It is outside of the realm of possibility that the Obama administration is trying, once again, to partnership with a foreign governing body to restrict gun ownerships in America. Would President Obama cede the sovereignty of our borders to the United Nations? Calling us fringe conspiracy theory lunatics, but given the secrecy surrounding the treaty, one can only assume the worst. It should be clear that the eventual goal of the foreign entities like the United Nations is total disarmament of the American people. Yeah, because they already succeeded with England and Australia and pretty much all the European countries. Clinton confidant Dick Morris explained in 2012 how restrictions outlined in a foreign treaty such as a new trade agreement might work. It's entirely the backdoor effort to force gun registrations, and eventually bans on restrictions with the act of the United States Congress to do with the international treaty. One of the deadly parts about this is that when the treaty is signed and made binding in the United States, it requires the force of a constitutional amendment. Under the Supremacy Clause, every Congress and every state legislature has to honor that treaty unless the constitutional amendment is passed to the contrary, or unless all the other signatories that the U.S. Out of the treaty. This would be permanent, long-term gun control, all done without Congress. Wow. 5 words for the United Nations from my cold, dead hands. His views are reinforced by an ambassador who said the UN small arms or UN small treaty negotiations. In New York, right here on our shores, we've got a Trojan horse. They won't accept U.S. firearm policy. They want to take the decision away from the U.S. electorate and undermine our Constitution. You know, the problem is they can do all this all they want. But as long as you got people in uniform, suited and booted, who are ignorant and dumb and stupid, dumb, dormant, docile, and demoralized, and all they want is a paycheck for a song and a dance, as long as they're putting food into their families' mouths and stuff, they don't care nothing about these bills and nothing like this. They are so-called supporting the law. Is it the law? Is it they don't know about. I tell you, like I said, 90% of the people that join the United States military don't know crap about the U.S. Constitution. 90%. And you people out there that are patriots and stuff that know about this Constitution, you should know this. You know that. You know how dumb and how dumbed down somebody is, especially a teenager coming out of high school, getting ready to go into the military. They don't know what an unlawful order is. They have no idea. Soldiers are trained to obey. Let me finish this article. Moreover, just so we're clear, the plan to disarm Americans has been in motion for many years. Last year, we purported that the United Nations was operating within the borders of the United States already, and according to their own job postings at the UN website, they were actively recruiting disarmament, demobilization, and look at this. According to the UN Nations information page on DDR operations, the New York Post will involve various aspects relating to the process by which the government organization will confiscate firearms, all of which target what the UN calls small arms. Disarmament is a collective documentation, control of disposal of firearms, ammunition, explosives, and light and heavy weapons from combatants and often the civilian population. Demobilization is a form of control discharged at the act of combatants from armed forces and groups, including a phase of reinsertion, which provides short-term assistance to ex-combatants. Man. I'm done. I can read all this bull crap all day long. I'm done. Anyway, don't let them take your guns. Period. No matter what. They let them write all the stuff and pass all the things on papers all they want. If you're willing to live free, then willing to just be willing to die. That's just all there is to it.